What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Another fine day in Oklahoma, so time to work on a Blazer. Today I've got a bit of a side mission though, so we're not going to be doing that quite yet. I'll be heading out to Union City. Got called down here to do a little bit of work on the Peterbilt for Shawn out at 187 Customs. So for a while I was out doing that, I'd sit down with him and Danny, just kind of talk about the upcoming race season, new shop, world politics, all that stuff. So gonna head out here real quick, get that semi taken care of, and then we'll sit down and talk with him. Woke up this morning, it's Sunday, I'm in Oklahoma. I am not in the shop though. Took a day off, I guess you could say. Headed out here to, where exactly are we?
We're in Union City.
Union City,
in the
Oklahoma.
Middle of nowhere now.
It's just part of the greater Oklahoma City area. But come out and I'm gonna spend a little time out here at 187 Customs with Shawn and Phantom. And there again, I've run out of things to say real quick.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't have to say anything.
I added all that shit. So
Yep.
So we're what, a month out from season 6?
Month and a half?
Month and a half.
Yeah, and the car's not even to the chassis shop that is going to put the Hemi and stuff in it.
Yeah.
I just dropped a car off 3 days ago to somebody to take to a chassis shop
Yes.
to get done.
It's kind of a weird deal. It was supposed to get done while we were in Australia. We just got home from Australia. It hasn't even been a week, has it?
A week and a half.
Oh, okay. So Tuesday will be 2 weeks that we're home? Really? Doesn't
I know. I was thinking about that earlier.
time goes by so fast when we're here and not filming and not, I say not working, but we still work every day.
Yeah.
So we literally have been messing with the wagon that y'all did.
Work. Yeah.
Yes, work. Oh yeah, no, it's still better than a regular job.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you at all for selling your power line company. Screw.
Well, I didn't sell anything.
I just got money out that motherfucker.
Yeah. I just wanted my name off of everything.
Yeah.
So
we're a month and a half out. Car's not ready.
Yep.
Trailer is a time zone away.
Yep.
The Pete just got figured out, so you're
Well.
like right on schedule.
As always.
As always.
We live our life like a SEMA build.
Yeah. Right.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
It all
I
makes
knew
sense.
that would hit home
I
with you.
tried to quit doing that best I could, but it still happens.
Yep. It's part of it, man.
But-
We try not to get too bent out of shape about everything, but you're going to have problems. You're going to run into messes. It's going to happen whether or not you're prepared or not. So we still have lots of things that we've got to do. We've got to get the merch trailer and everything squared away. He's got things he still wants to do to the little Pete right there, which is what he drives. Hopefully everything's good with the trailer.
It just got, the stacker?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They basically refurbished that deal, didn't they?
They did a lot, but we still have probably a bunch of small block parts in it. So we still got to bring that thing home, take all that stuff out because we sold the small blocks and now we're putting Hemi in the car. We've got absolutely nothing to replace any of those parts for the Hemi. So we're going to have to figure out what we need versus what we have. And then we've got to go through tools because you know how it goes with the tools. We lose tools.
Yep.
So now we got to go through there and figure out, clean everything up, put everything in the drawers, and figure out what we're possibly missing, what we need. That's weeks worth of work.
Okay.
So, and then people wonder, I understand that some people who do the MPK and follow the MPK around, they have real jobs still, and I feel for them, because I understand that this is my daytime job, this is my everyday job. Of course, I put a lot of projects on the table that I don't need to.
Yep.
Always keeps me busy, but like SEMA builds for one, like this was sort of a SEMA build. We took it to SEMA anyways. This one next to it was a SEMA build. We just blew it up on the dyno last week. Then Aiden just left in the Scout, which was a SEMA build.
And the green one will be a SEMA build.
The green one will be a SEMA build, and the only one that we don't have anymore is Kilo that we sold. So
I miss old Kilo.
yeah.
It was cool.
My problem is it was super cool. I just once a car's completely done like that, I don't want to drive it anymore. You know, I was always afraid I was going to tear it up, or somebody else was going to tear it up, or I hope I'm not that way with the wagon.
So you got, I don't know what you want to call them now. I guess it's still just the OG in the second car, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I call the one the MPK car.
Yeah.
You know, the OG is on a boat right now. We went to Australia. We did, I'm going to say, really well with it. Like, the car hauled ass. We won the majority of our races, like more than 3/4 of our races, and the car performed well. You know, the Hemi and the Pro Charger is it's a good running combo. Like, it's tough.
It just works.
Combo. It works.
Did you guys remember to turn the impeller around since she was on the other side?
Yeah,
of the
we
wagon?
were down on the other
upside
side.
down.
We flipped everything. So it was a good time. It was one of those things that we didn't want to go. We bitched and we complained about it the whole time. And now that we're not there, we're glad we did it.
Yeah.
Like anything else, I do that on every show that I go to. Oh God, I don't want to do this, you know. And then I get there, I have a good time. I'm glad we did it, you know. But
It was an experience, you know. We got to say that we raced on a whole nother continent.
Yeah,
International.
I mean, bands, Metallica, that's one of their claims of fame. They've played on every continent on Earth. Well,
Yep.
Not a whole lot of drag racers can say they've gone to different continents. And
yep,
I guess now that Australia's
I've
done,
been to 3.
You've been to 3.
I've raced on 3.
What, South America?
Yep, North America, South America.
I guess you did. You went down there and rented a car. You know,
I didn't rent. Yeah,
Someone jumped. You let someone jump in, or someone let them jump in yours.
And it sucks because I didn't drive anything in Africa. And we've been to Africa.
Yeah.
We went to some races in Africa, but I didn't drive anything.
So with Australia in the can done and all, it's probably going to be about a year before we see that series again.
We did a Mega Cash Days, and they were flip-flopping around on which ones that they were going to film first, or show first. And then they decided to do the Australia one before they did that, and now they've flip-flopped back. So they're going to be, I'm not sure when, I would assume as soon as, what is Fastest in America on right
After
now?
Fastest America is Mega Cash.
Is it? Okay, so after Fastest in America is off, then Mega Cash Days comes, and I'm assuming as soon as Mega Cash Days is over, Australia would go.
Man, it's hard to say because they usually they have been trying to get MPK on around Christmas time. So
I would assume that it's still going to be Christmas time.
yeah,
How long does these shows last? They last
10
what?
to 12 weeks.
Yeah, so
I mean that's 3 months.
Well, and there for a
Man,
while
it'll be
last
close
year.
then.
Yeah.
You guys,
October or so, I would say MPK would be coming
you
on.
guys had 2 shows. You always had the MPK show, and then you had the Team Attack on the same night. It was like
Yeah.
like a marathon
I'm sure
watch.
there'll
every
still be
Monday
some.
night.
I'm sure there'll be something like that.
That's cool.
I don't care if we go to Canada. I told them whenever they first did this, I was like, nah, it sounds like a logistic nightmare. I don't want to go.
That made it work though.
It worked,
Well,
you know?
didn't work out for
Some
Robin Roberts.
Yeah, that sucks. So, and also, man, it changed how I felt about a lot of the guys because honestly, man, I liked all the guys.
All the Australian guys?
No, all the American guys that I can't stand.
Oh, you had to work with them.
that I
so-
worked with them, you know.
Yep.
And now it's forever changed how I feel about everybody. You know, I mean, I give Scott Taylor a hard time. At every race that we go to that I'm at, if I have to race him, I give him a hard time.
Give
Always.
Scooter a hard time.
I always do. You know, it's part of it. But honestly, dude, the dude's awesome. Man. I really like him. I like his wife.
His wife's hilarious.
His wife is funny as shit. We had a good time with him, you know. The Swanstroms, we had a good time with them, you know. We knew we liked Pinky. You know,
Yep.
Pinky's cool. Pinky's funny.
Yeah, we like to make you.
You know, Robin Roberts. I've always said Robin Roberts is a good dude that does shitty things. You know, and you know, I like him still. You know, and I've had my problems with him.
Yeah.
You know, but
A lot of people have apparently.
it doesn't matter, man. You go over there and you put all of us on a team and we all have a common goal. I was standing behind Robin's car, you know, yeah, every time, you know, like, and dude, it's weird, you know, but you come together. I would assume it's no different than being in the military, man.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what your background is, what color you are. You don't see any sort of racism. You don't see any sort of politics. You just see somebody else who's an American, and y'all are on the same team.
They're just putting Kiwis on the trailer at that point.
They get mad about that.
Do they? Yeah. Not a wonder ever see this. So,
Yeah. So, but anyways,
yeah. The New Zealanders.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, the New Zealand, that's kind of a good looking place, though. You always hear about when people want to go places, they want to go to New Zealand.
Well, they have a problem
it's
with each other.
It's like Edmund and everyone else in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I think they're better than everyone.
Yeah.
Think you're better than this.
It's like a big rivalry. What's that up there for?
What?
Like they put something on that track.
Oh, man, I feel like that's keeping that door from going all the way
Never
up.
took it off when you
I know.
put the door up.
Oh, we didn't put those up.
They didn't put
No, we had somebody who did this for us. We didn't
Someone else do this interview for us?
We didn't build this shop.
Yeah, believe it or
Anyways,
not, we didn't pour concrete.
that's how sidetracked I get. So,
Huh.
but yeah, no, it was pretty amazing, and it will forever change the way that I feel about all the guys, you know, because yeah, I can go back to wanting to win all my races and supporting the 405 guys over all those guys. That's no problem. But at the end of the day, I still liked them. They're still good dudes,
Yep.
you know. This season of MPK is going to be wild. We can't really. I don't even know. Has anybody said anything?
Somebody has said something because a lot of people know about what's going on.
Really?
I've just seen some rules.
The rule, I don't mind the rules.
No, the rules are fine.
Yeah.
Like, is the rules the best for the Pro Charge Hemi? Might not be the best, but it would take fucking the rules up pretty bad for that good and easy of a combo to swap away from it.
I don't really see, I mean, I get they're trying to level the playing field, but I think it's just a matter of time guys figuring out the combos, because you had guys like Howe and Odom. They were late bloomers, but they was there with you.
They figured out their combos there at the last of the season, and they were hauling ass.
So
there's no doubt about it, man. Ryan is the
standard.
He's one of the greatest no prep racers right now, and he didn't have the fastest car there at the last of the season. I believe Jim Howe did.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's just a matter of, you know, guys figuring it out, and then like that, you've only got 4 blower cars in the whole series. Of course, I mean, they're not going to be that much of a force if there's only 4 of them, but
There's a bunch of them this year.
There's going to be a bunch this year.
yeah. And then you got stuff like you guys travel all over the place, so you got altitude to deal with. Where some races it's a turbos race, and some races it's not. So
Yeah.
I don't know. The rules are rules, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and we're still trying to get the hang of all of it. I mean, it's no secret that we're not track racers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're not. Now, we came from making a pass or two a night on the street to doing this, and we're behind. You know, I'll admit it. Like, I tried something with a small block. If you compare time slips, I could run with those guys, but I couldn't keep it together. You know, and we were just pressing that thing so hard to run what we were running, just to be a little bit behind everybody else, you know? And then I would turn it up even a little bit more, and we would hurt the motor, or the car wouldn't, you know, it'd get out there and it'd move around, and I'd have to pedal it. So I tried to stay loyal to that combo. Obviously, I gave it a shot, and I just couldn't make it work. I'm not going to say it wouldn't work, because if I could have got down to weight, and even this year it's going to even be lighter for that combo, if I could have got down to weight, or if I had a car like Jeff Lutz's, you know what I mean, that's shaped like a bullet, might be a different deal, you know? Like, you put my old combo in Jeff Lutz's car, and he could get down to weight.
Yeah,
that thing,
take 150 pounds off our combo from last year.
Because he's still a conventional head big block, isn't he?
Yeah, and it's out of control fast. Either way, it's going to be pretty cool, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, like, because I firmly believe that we're gonna be up at the top this season. We're gonna run and we're gonna win races this season.
Good.
If we don't, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
If we don't, I don't know what else
There's
to say.
no time like season 6 to just get it together.
Yeah, third season's a charm for us.
Well, yeah, because we only started in season 4.
I guess you weren't around for the
First 3.
first 3.
I started in season 4, right?
We went to the very last race of season 3 with kind of
And then we started.
and then we did a full season 4 and 5.
So we've only raced 2 seasons, and we're still not great at it yet. We're not great at traveling and keeping the car together and knowing, hey, this is what. After this many passes, we need to do this. After this many passes, we need to replace this. After this many passes, we need to check this. We're not the greatest at it yet, and we've never claimed to be.
It was what a lot of people don't understand too. Is they just see you guys roll into the track, unload, make some test hits, and then they think you just load up and head to the next track, and it ain't anything like that.
Seems pretty easy and glamorous until you're the one out there living it.
And it's funny because people will be like, "Who drives your truck here for you?" I'm like, "Oh, fucker, I do."
Yeah.
We don't have nobody to drive for us.
Not like we ain't had no offers.
Oh, I know.
You
Everybody.
can't post a picture of that thing without someone.
Yeah.
I got a CDL. Let me know.
CDL driver, 35 years. I'll drive it for you.
Yeah,
but
it'd take them 4 days to get to every track too. All them drivers.
I know. Yeah, because we can drive in as many hours as
You
we
guys
want.
can skirt quite a few laws in that thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Out of sight, out of mind. It's crazy. I'm not going to say I don't have a CDL, but you don't have to have a CDL.
That's the thing that it blows my mind sometimes. You think all the bass backward stuff in this country
I know.
is if I grab Dad's dually and put the John Deere tractor on the trailer, they
need
can
a
pop me
CDL.
for not having a CDL.
Yep.
But you can drive what's your total unit length?
What are you,
with
the
that
cops?
thing?
Yeah.
They will,
Snitch.
Yeah.
We're about 90 feet.
You're too much is the answer.
No.
No?
I think you can't be 100. What is the kicker truck? Because remember, the kicker truck is so long it can't go to California, at all.
Yeah.
And I believe it's just a little bit over 100.
Yeah, it's a 53 or 54 foot trailer, and their truck it's extended frame, and
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's
So
long though.
we're 46 feet in just the Pete, and then the trailer is 36.
This is 6.
36. Plus you got the tongue and all that. So let's just say 40 and then 40. So I think we're just under 90, honestly. And this shop is 100, and I have not had them both in here yet. I should have about 10 feet on either side.
We're hoping our math was right.
If you carried to 0, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because we based the whole shop off of fitting that thing in here.
Yeah.
So
You see a little lean-to out back with the
Yeah.
trailer, and we didn't measure right.
Well, speaking of the shop, you see we're in the new shop here. This is quite a step up from back in the day.
It had to be, the reason that we had to get this new place out here is because we outgrew the other place. I loved the other place, but it was literally 2 acres in the middle of town, and there's no more room to expand, And so just getting the toter in and out of there with the trailer on it it's a 30-minute deal once you pulled that thing in with the turning, and
That was
you got
after you
Austin
got all the
Powers
cars
that
out
deal,
the road.
and that's after you moved everything out of the way. It would take my stress level to calm and normal to out of control. And then that's most of the time when you tear shit up.
Yeah.
You get in there and you get it into
Frustrating.
binds, and then finally you go, fuck, and you just get mad. And
You just dump the clutch
then
and
you
whatever
dump the
happens,
clutch.
happens.
Yeah. I mean, I've almost jackknifed that thing multiple times. And then we had a creek that ran through there, and then you kind of go off that, and then it starts spinning the back tires, and everything about it sucked, And then once you got ready to pull that thing out of there, where I parked it at, it was another 30 minutes to get it to where you could get out of the drive. And then it was another 15 after that for traffic to slow down to where I could get out on the 2-lane road. If it would have been a 4-lane road, it probably would have been okay, but I extended my driveway wider so that I could make the turn. It was just, we did everything we could. We basically outgrew that place.
So I just put Officer Danny out there in the street, tell people stop.
Yeah, but still, that doesn't take away all the work that you got to do to get that thing ready to get out of there. So out here, it's everything's been better so far. You know, like it's still, you know, gets a little bit moist outside, and then it's muddy. You know, so. Ugh. But other than that, we're out in the country. We're out here by ourselves. Hopefully, we don't bother anybody except the neighbors who have lived here for 30 years with no neighbors, and now they have neighbors who's probably ruined their whole lives.
You start firing that dyno at 10 p.m. at night because you gotta get to that race tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah, he thinks everything's fine right now. That first time that dyno lights off.
Yep. Hey, and I pointed it straight at their house too, and these exhaust fans go straight out towards their place. But you know, like we very rarely run the dyno.
Yeah, you ain't turbo no more. That ain't gonna be quiet.
No. Never know.
So speaking of back in the day, like, do you ever, in your wildest dreams, did you ever think that it would do this?
I don't think anybody did, and I still sometimes don't understand how we managed to make a living off of this.
Yeah.
You know, like I tell people when they're standing in line at our races, what's wrong with y'all? Fuck are you? It's hot out here. There's people passing out.
Yeah.
Why are you guys standing out here? Well, it's all worth it to see you. You know, it's humbling for sure. Like, and sometimes, like I said, I bitch about doing things, but just the fans that we met over in Australia made the whole time we were there worth it. You know, like it was cool to go over there and see the impact that we've had on racing over there also. You know, so. Like I said, man, it's a humbling experience, and if we ever get upset about it, sometimes we've got to remember that.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it also helps a lot that you guys are like the working man's TV people. You're not this thing that no one can associate with. You're.
It depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
A lot of people, oh, you guys are just out of touch from us. You know, we understand that. You know but that wasn't any doing except. You know, that's what you've got to do to keep up.
You got to evolve,
you know? that's total evolution.
Yeah.
And the reason that we came to be the cars being what they are now was because we get outran. And then you got to have something better. And then you got to have something better. You got to have something better. And you know, we still are the guys that are out here doing all the work ourselves. Like every now and then, people will go, "Oh, you don't build your engines." Okay.
Nope. Why would you want to?
Yeah, okay. And we build our engine every other weekend when we burn it up.
Yeah.
You know, but no, we do not do our own machine work. Like, it amazes me what people go, oh, you don't even do this yourself. Just because I don't assemble that motor doesn't mean I don't know how. You know, like, I've never built a transmission a day in my life. You don't hear people talking about that.
That's rocket surgery.
It is.
No,
it is.
It's magic.
Rossler that thing up, it's like a brain.
Yeah.
Yes. Rossler is aliens. You know, we don't know, and we don't need to know. You know why? Because they do.
Yeah.
So then we just put their shit in our car, and then that's one less thing I got to worry about.
Anyone says you don't build your own motors, say I also don't do my own colonoscopies either. So you go to people for that, man.
I know. It just blows my mind that people. I can't believe you don't do this yourself. What? I don't have the $150,000 worth of machine work that it takes to build those motors.
Well, at some point, you have gotten to a level here that no one man can do this. I mean, you're not
Absolutely.
You're not a weekend track racer no more.
Yep.
So
at some point, man, I think honestly, man, I used to watch Rob Dyrdek a whole lot. You know, even before. What is it that he's got? The Ridiculousness show.
The Fantasy Factory.
Yeah, all the Fantasy Factory and the Robin Big. You know, I used to watch all that stuff, and I based a bunch of stuff off of some of the stuff. You know, he's business smart as hell. You know, and he said, "Man, you put people in place who are good at what they do.
good leaders don't lead, they delegate."
Yep, no doubt, man. So there's all kinds of stuff that, can I build a car? Absolutely. Do I hands-on every single thing? No, of course I don't. Like, and then people want to go, oh, Chip Foose does it all. That's literally his only business. That is what he does for a living. You know, like, if I didn't leave this shop, I'd do everything myself too. You know, probably including put my own engines together, you know?
So out of everyone that's going on tour again this year, that sounds weird. Out of everyone's going on season 6 with you, is it going to be like normal guys again? Are you losing anybody? Are you gaining anybody?
I don't think, as far as I know, The only person I saw that wasn't going to be there this year is what's his name? Cody Baker.
Yeah,
hey, and I'm telling you right now, man, I read that and I about shed a tear. That's a man.
Well, that comes back to the fact that it's more than one guy that does this, and sometimes even if you got the biggest team behind you, it's still your kids. You ain't worth it. Take some time off. Come back to it later. It's fine.
Luckily, once I started this, my son was already old enough that I could leave him alone by himself. I wouldn't have wanted to do all this traveling around whenever he was, 8.
Yeah,
10.
that's what I'm doing now. Mine are 4 and 6. It's just like, Dad was always gone trucking when I was a kid. Never taught me how to ride a bike.
Here's the things he didn't teach me.
Didn't go to the ball game, but I mean, it has to. Sometimes you got to do it. But
that's right.
I don't. I'm in a position where I sit there and go, do I really need to leave this weekend and go? To do something, or should I just stay and hang out with the kids? And more and more often lately, I find myself staying home and
hanging out with the kids. And I don't know Cody that well. I just know him from racing. But that right there puts him a couple notches up in my book. That's some.
Not everyone can make that decision. It's hard to not be selfish, and
because look, man, a lot of us racers are selfish. That's part of. It's part of us, but man, any guy that can set aside the opportunity that he's had to do this, and just stay home with his family, that's awesome. I think it shows a lot about who he is, and I think that's pretty cool.
I'm sure before we get started, or even while it's going, some more people will drop off, and obviously someone's always building a new car to try to come race with us.
Yeah, we're gonna have a Joplin, Missouri car in the mix with you this year.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully it does well. Oh yeah, that's cute.
Yeah.
Well, as far as I know, we probably have to be in the futures.
That's what I was kind of wondering, because you don't just show up to these things and get in, regardless if you can make the field or not. They're going to put you in that futures class for what, a year?
There's no set in stone. Look how long Callie did it.
Callie did it forever, but that Adam Jennings, man, he kept showing up, and finally one race we didn't have enough to fill the 32 car invitational. And he said, you're up.
They said, you're up. And ever since then, if they do that just one time, you're in after that. And I understand people are like, oh no, you guys pick and choose who races with y'all. No, that's not the case. People got to realize that this is still a TV show. Yeah. You have to be a good character. Yep. You can't just come in here with NHRA type crew, their money, which I know a lot of people say that there's already big money in, and there is, But if there is big money in, it's because they make good characters.
I think I know who he's talking
about. Odom's one of them. No, I don't. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, Odom is one of them. Yeah. He came in, he was big money. And he hasn't really. He got Jim Howe with him. You know what I mean? It's not like he hired an NHRA crew, and came in here.
Jim and his boy, basically.
Jim and his boy, and they've been kicking ass. So good for them.
It was good to see them win one. Actually, they won what, 2, 3?
I don't know.
Jim won 2
Jim
last
won
year.
2.
And Odom went to the finals.
Matt got a grade 8, didn't he? He won something, I thought.
Who?
Odom.
I'm sure he won a couple of the grade 8s.
I think he did win one grade 8, maybe.
But I don't think he won
He didn't win
an
an
event.
invitational. He went to the final couple
red
times.
once or twice.
He red lit.
Yeah. You can see with him too that as he was getting further and further and better, he was getting. A lot of people got all emotional, start crying at the end, but like if I spent this much time and money on stuff like that, and to finally get the validation of doing good at it, it's hard not to get.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna cry like a baby.
I'm telling you right now, one of these days we're gonna win one.
Fan gonna be up on that line, just.
Oh yeah, I promise you. We put a lot of time and effort and his money into this deal.
It's your money, Just moving the world of drag racing is what you guys have done since season 1 is pretty crazy. But just in the no prep circuit stuff, season 1, Birdman winning this thing. How much faster are you all from his car in season 1?
Oh, look, Chuck won a couple, right? In the death trap.
He won.
That thing won't go faster than a
team.
14. And now. I don't think one pass we went a 14 last year.
Yeah.
Like,
not that you were underpowered.
I'm not real sure. I'm not real sure we went slower than 4.0s.
Yeah.
All last season. And of course, you saw we didn't win nothing.
Yeah.
So I do believe that there's times where 390s will get you all the way to where you need to be. You know, but man, there's also times where it won't.
You know, in season 1 and 2, maybe even season 3, you could show up with a
420 car.
420 car and go some rounds. You probably weren't going to win because that's about the time that Ryan really got his shit under control, and he
just showed up and ruined it for everybody.
Yep.
And but you could go some rounds. But anymore, man, if you're not 4.0s or better, you're first round bait.
You think a lot of that's just, again, because of the world of parts manufacturing technology? You guys have just moved that so fast, so far that that's why these cars are getting quicker.
I mean, that, and not to mention, man, after the first round, those tracks are good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many passes being laid down on them that the tracks are amazing. Yeah. You know, like it ain't. I mean, they can scrape it, they can wash it, they can do whatever they want. After the first round of racing, it's still good. No matter
still
what.
a track.
It's still a track. Yeah. And most of them are tracks that have had an NHRA event ran there within the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, so, and they're out there just spraying the shit out of them.
So is that one of the rules? Is y'all can't test within 2 weeks and like 200 miles of track? Yep. Can the track have any races prior to 2 weeks, or is that
the track can? The track can do whatever they want.
Night before they can have a race, and then y'all show up and
Yeah, but normally they come in and scrape the track and do all that stuff. I don't know what they'll do this year.
Yeah, who knows?
But we've also been to real no preps, you know, and there's a difference in a no prep that we used to go to where the tracks aren't that great anyways, and then they just go out there and they're just shit, you know, versus this.
You got to think some of the no prep stuff we used to do back in the day was at the other end of the track, which they still do in some places, or we would start at the 60-foot and race. You know, now we're full blown starting on the starting line, and it's just good, and there's no way around it really. And
we'll go, you know, once we're not doing this no prep kings anymore, we'll take these cars and we'll go run some of them no prep tracks, because
they're fun.
Unlike some of the other people, man, we can get down them, you know.
Get back to doing some Outlaw Armageddon and Lights Out.
I'd love to, you know, and even Outlaw Armageddon this year, if even if we have a that week off, you know, I'd love to take the OG out there, even if it's on a small tire.
Yeah.
Take it out there and see what happens.
Show them you still know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really think this whole no prep thing will? I mean, it's got to slow down. It's got to end. But do you think it's going to be anytime soon?
It doesn't look like it, man. You can go to a no prep race every weekend.
You can go to 2 or 3 of them every weekend.
Yeah.
You got the time.
I mean, just half of Discovery is y'all now.
Yep.
They told us one time we make up 50% of their viewing.
I think it might be more than that.
I get on the Plus app and go to just the automotive side of it. I mean, it's you guys. That's it.
Man, honestly, I don't see any end in sight for the no prep. There's no reason it would ever have to end. As long as the tracks are still willing to open up and rent out, people will show up and race for that much money.
Well, and it's cheaper for the people. Aside from, I guess, what Maple Grove was upset about all the walls that got bashed into, right?
Yeah.
You know, but aside from that, they're not out any money on prepping.
No.
Like, yeah, they have some cleanup, but what are you gonna clean up? I mean, you have cleanups even if it's prepped.
Yeah.
You know.
And the prep, you know, PJ1 or Lane Choice, whatever they use nowadays, that shit's expensive by the barrel.
Yeah.
You know, you're $1,500 or so for a barrel of it. They'll, like a radio race, still go through
3-4 drums of it.
Man, at least.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I've taken up enough of y'all's time. Busy man, from what I can tell.
We appreciate you coming out, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Head back to my place and work on mine now.
Yeah.
Have you probably not, I know the answer to this question, but have you seen what I'm doing over there?
Like what you got building?
Yeah.
The Blazer?
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Someone watches this shit.
Yeah, no, I've seen that out at Jake's too.
Yep.
You know?
No, he's got the rear end over there. I'm gonna try to get it hung. At that point, it's a full cage. I've got steering on it, front suspension, rear suspension. If I can get it a roller, I'm taking the thing back home with me because this working on it once every 3 months just ain't doing it.
Yep.
So I'll get it back home, work on it up there, and then hopefully, I mean, probably at this point it'll be next year before we're making any kind of test hits or passes in it. But I'm excited to get it going.
Yeah, well, let us know if you need anything. We have fucking parts and shit.
But what do you think of the Blazer? I think we're...
I didn't look at it real good, but we didn't see anything that we thought was wrong with it.
That's all I'm
We're
really
not
looking
chassis
for.
guys.
I'm just looking for someone to go, hey, or looking forward to someone just not telling me, hey, this is wrong.
No.
You know, if someone can look
We
at that
said
and not
something.
throw
I
me,
mean, the only
Didn't
thing
we
that
look at something
the only
that
thing
said-
that I don't know about is the bags.
we just got to do that though.
Oh yeah, no, I get it.
It's probably going to be
it's
the
going to
most-
have bags. That's the spring,
I
right?
think it'll be fine.
Yep. There's a couple Texas
I'm sure
trucks
you could-
apparently that are on air and they figured it out.
I think it'll be fine. Your shock is going to do most of the controlling.
The spring's just there to
anyways.
hold it up.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that no one like walks in and tells us that that's all wrong. Don't do that.
I didn't see nothing like that.
It'll be fun, something different.
Yep.
Yeah, we got to put it on there. That's just who we are.
Yeah.
Yep. No doubt. Yeah, you're going to have to set the suspension up and then just run it at that ride height all the time, though.
Yeah.
You know, to keep your pinion angles and your is it 4-link?
Yep.
Yeah, and your 4-link angles and all that shit in the right spot.
That's kind of what I'm hoping I got right, because from what I'm understanding, how the 4-link's supposed to work, because it's different from what we do on the trucks.
Yep.
But I made sure I had plenty of adjustment in it, and then we're even going to have I don't know which one we're setting up for equal length arms right now. But I figure if for whatever reason we want to, we can build that bracket that bolts into the upper and makes your upper way short. But
You're not running a radial car, are you? Radial?
no, we're on slicks, but that's not to say that if a radial race comes up and Jake wants to go to it, we might throw some radials on it.
As far as I know, that's Tin Soldiers deal.
Yeah.
You know, and they say that
The shorter upper arm makes it react faster or more.
well, on slick, remember they wanted it. That's the big fucking deal. Was I had one car that remember it was the bottom was
The OG, we had to swap the arms.
well the top was fucking shorter or something, and people was like that's the reason your car don't work.
Yeah.
You know, like it was a big deal. Like it doesn't move in the same trajectory as what it should if both the top and the bottom were equal length. Yeah.
I figure it's one of those things. I'll set it up for one way with the possibility of doing it the other way.
Yeah.
We may never do it, so
It ain't that fucking hard.
I mean, you guys can make it look easy. Surely we can do
Yeah, I
it.
don't know about looking easy, but we've struggled. We've been, all over the place. So,
We've even talked about I don't think it's possible with having that AccuAir on it. I thought, like, man, that'd be cool. Somehow trick that AccuAir to like when we take off and launch this car, tell it in 1 second of the run to bump the rear pressure up 10
You
pounds.
can do that with ours. That's like a lot of people run air on their coilover shock.
Dave does it. And then
Dave
he'll
does
dump
it.
it off at the big end
He keeps
to where
it.
it'll,
Ride the bumps better.
to where it rides the bumps.
Go out there, as soon as let's go to the button, it'll put air on it to extend it. And then about 200-300 foot, it'll drop it out.
That's all through Fuel Tech, though.
Yeah.
I don't know about,
Terminator won't do
I
that.
don't know. Yeah, I'm
And
not
I said
saying
the
it won't.
Terminator doesn't have enough inputs and outputs. If you went with the Dominator.
I said the Dominator's the bigger version, isn't it?
I like the Terminator stuff, but like if you ever get to a point where you want to start using traction controllers or anything like that, it doesn't have the ability.
We might do it one day. Of course, then again, I'm fully like expecting and comfortable with the fact that as soon as we get this thing going, Jake's going to put some stupid price on it, and if someone comes along and pays it, it's going to be gone. Like I may never have any seat time in it; it'll be gone. So, but it's whatever.
Okay, I got to go. I got 30 minutes. I've got to figure out what I'm driving.
Tough problem to have, man.
Yeah.
What one in the fleet do you want?